for those of you that don't know me, my name is Suzette Viernon. I am your relationship solutionist who helps high achieving women, primarily women over 40, and a few cool men, redefine what makes them enough in life and in love on their own terms. Why? So they can stop the cycle, so they can break it, break the cycle of failed relationships and attract real deal, healthy, fulfilling, satisfying, great love into their lives. But many of you, you're settling for less because you don't even know that your love can be great. And I'm here to sound the alarm. Ding, 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 that you can have great love. In fact, you're entitled to it. And so tonight, I want to make a bold statement. I am Lori Harvey. I am Lori Harvey. I want to make that statement because one of the things that I see that's common, you know, I'm going to reveal the elephant in the room. That's what Real Talk does. What I've seen that's common with Lori Harvey, with Jada Pinkett Smith, with Amber Heard, with Megan Good, and the countless others whose relationships have been in the news, and even those that we don't even know about, right? Because they don't have that celebrity connection. What is obvious to me, and maybe not might be obvious to you too, is that there's an elephant in the room that we need to discuss, real talk style. And that is that even in this 21st century, where women are taking their place in the world, even in this century, women are still being blamed for their man's behavior, for their man's sadness, for any time they're suffering consequences or suffering at all. Women are being blamed if they say no to what they don't want, so they can create a yes for what they do. They get blamed. Now, I'm not going to go into all the nuts and bolts of what is being said, but I just have to name this elephant that sometimes gets pushed to the background, that sometimes gets pushed to the side. And it's in this society, women still get blamed when a relationship does not work. Or what? Now, I won't say when a relationship doesn't work, because we get blamed for that too. But when men behave badly, when men take us to court, when men file for the divorce, right? And when men sit in front of the camera and look sad because the relationship is over, women get blamed. And the reason I say that I am Lori Harvey, I am, oh, and I forgot to add, Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle. We get blamed for men's decisions. We get blamed for men's attitudes. We get blamed for how men respond to life, to love, to whatever. We are the ones that get blamed. And that's why I said, I am Lori Harvey, because she's the newest woman on the chopping block. And whatever your personal opinions are about any of these women, I will not overlook the fact that we still, a commonality among us all, is even in the 21st century, we get blamed. We get thrown under the bus. We get vilified. People say we're selfish and we're self-absorbed when we make the decision that we believe is the right one for us. I understand very much what it's like to have been vilified for making the decision that I felt like was the right one for me. It was when my second marriage ended. I made the decision to end it. I made the decision to stop suffering in silence. I made the decision to put my happiness and my well-being, my mental and emotional well-being first. I made that decision because I figured it was better for my son to be the product of a broken relationship than for him to get broken by me staying in the relationship. I figured if he was going to suffer some issues for it, I'd rather him suffer 5 issues from me leaving than 10 issues from me staying. So I understand what it's like to make a bold choice, to stand in your truth, to own your space, and to decide not to settle, not to be different, not to rescue a man from his decisions and his choices. And so I have a few takeaways that I want to share because we only have a few minutes, and I am very welcome to comment. I see John saying, oops, wrong live. John, don't be scared. I can see the men tipping out like the people do in church when they tip out, and then the usher stops them and say, we don't walk during this time, and you sit down looking like, oh Lord, right? But these are some takeaways that I want to share with the women out here who understand or are even having to face whether they're going to choose themselves and what they know to be true for themselves, their own truth, their own agency in the world, their own self-care, or whether they're going to succumb to social norms that do not celebrate them when they do. Takeaway number 1, it takes courage to stand in your truth, knowing that you may be scrutinized. That's what I want to say. Knowing you might be scrutinized or vilified for doing it. Regardless of what you think of any of these women, it has taken a lot of courage for them to show a great deal of discipline and self-restraint, even when being vilified mercilessly by folk that don't know nothing about them or what the relationship was really like. My second takeaway, no one gets to live your life but you. I'm looking over here because I wrote my takeaways down. Hey, I'm over 60. So I think I'm allowed to look over to the side for my notes, okay? So when I'm looking over here, yes, I'm looking at notes. You got it. But no one gets to live your life but you. Be willing to own all that comes with it. What I have to say about these women is that they are holding their own elegantly, regardless of what you think. Now, Amber Heard, I'm not so sure how she's holding her own, but she's defending her space. I gotta give her kudos for that. She's defending her space. Third point, this too shall pass. Right now, Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan is breaking news, right? But at some point, they won't be. And people who were talking about them will pack up, walk across the street, and be talking about somebody else. The people who are talking about you today will not be talking about you tomorrow. And even if they do tomorrow, you are not going to care. You will have moved on to something else. Okay? And the fourth point, I was going to stop at 3, but I had to add this one in. Because I think this is something that I wish somebody had told me before I thought I knew better about relationships. Just because it's the right decision, right? Because we always argue, but I was right. We always are wrestling and straining and trying to get people to understand, and we're defending our right decision. Let me tell you something. Just because it was a right decision does not mean that people are going to agree with it. That's important, because when you understand that, you stop trying to win the popular vote. The only thing you should be striving to do is be your best self and live authentically. So that's it for now. This is Suzette Vernon with Relationship Talk Tuesdays, signing off. And I want you to know, we'll be right back here next Tuesday doing the same thing. Love you all. Bye.